Yes, I do regret ever watching the first Anastasia. Yes, I do know Snow White is made by the same people. Yes, I know I'm fucking myself over more than once. No, I have not watched the others, because I'm scared. Help, Psycho Cop!
So in fashion of this type of studio, it was made in November 1st, 1994. So that means the Anastasia one and the Snow White movie came out at the exact same time. Maybe. So that means maybe the Don Bluth film was late? Or it was already in production and they rushed it to make it seem like Don Bluth stole from them? It didn't work, but, this is Snow White and the Magic Mirror. And the voice over me is saying this because I'm too lazy to record myself saying it on camera. We got into this lazy territory, and I'm not sorry for it. The title screen at the beginning has the narrator telling us how Snow White is pretty, but is dumber than a bag of rocks. I took the liberty of adding the last part in, as like all stories.
I feel like being beautiful, I feel like being grand, I feel like looking glamorous and singing with a band.
And yes, we do get a song about how she feels pretty and witty and gay, you're welcome, West Side Story, while also being in a torture device. Snow White comes over, calling her stepmom, and is given a makeover. So the evil queen goes to ask who's the fairest of them all to her magic mirror and take a guess what movie had a sassy character that also sounded like this.
And now, presenting the off-the-wall character, the mirror with the mostest, that good-looking looking glass. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Your reflection in mine, me.
Funny enough, Snow White kind of looks like Melody. Ariel's daughter. Maybe Disney actually stole this idea and tried to make it off as if they could actually do something good with her, but failed miserably because she's not remembered by anyone.
The queen calls the butcher to kill Snow White, and funny enough, he's an animal lover, so he technically is making shit in what looks like animals. Smart, I guess. But half of the people in the castle know what the difference between a turkey and a pumpkin with chicken legs that are cooked, so someone had to kill it. And no, you're an animal lover. You're trying to convince people it's a turkey with a pumpkin and some chicken legs. Okay? I'm a little pissed off now. Not really. I'm actually just heating myself up for no reason. The queen tells him that the party tonight is canceled.
Actually, isn't that the executioner's job? Oh wait, he's not here because she fired him because he's too pretty. Because you apparently have competition because the girl...
Bye-bye now. Move along. Save yourselves. Be good little party guests and run for your lives.
So the butcher helps the townspeople escape, well, the ones that didn't glitch into the hill, and heads back to the queen, telling her that the deed is done.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Wake up, you lazy-looking glass.
Oh, Queenie's face is falling down. Chicken, ow, falling down. Yeah, falling down. Ow.
Can a mirror have any privacy?
So the last fairest person in the land is indeed Snow White, and the butcher is told to kill her. So Snow White and the butcher pretend that Snow White is being hurt, but it kind of backfires as her animal friends try to help her out. It works as the butcher tells her to stay away and go somewhere far away. So, as she goes to find a new home, we find movie references like Psycho, Wizard of Oz, and finds her way into the Seven Dwarfs place. But behind that, we get a Goldilocks skit. So fun. The 7 famous comedians at the time, dwarves, come home to find that someone indeed has been in their house, ate their pie, broke their chair, and drank one glass, not to find Goldilocks, but Snow White asleep in one of the beds. They allow her to stay after telling them the evil queen is after her, and they ask if she could cook or clean. She can't, but we get a song about it anyway.
Somebody has to cook the supper. Somebody has to boil the tea.
We cut back to the queen, who finds out that she has pretty servants, so one is now living in the mirror. I don't know. And she also finds out that Snow White is alive. The queen goes to the dwarves' house, telling Snow White that she's a sales lady for beauty products, with the evil thing being a comb and the worst sound you will ever hear in your life. Go on, listen.
With this, you'll be drop dead gorgeous. Trust me.
You're right. I do feel tingly.
The dwarves find her and take the comb out of her head. She wakes up telling them about the sales lady as she puts 2 and 2 together that the sales lady is the evil queen. The next day, the queen comes back as the old lady poisoning an apple, and Snow White does not open the door, but does open the window as the poisoned apple is given to her, and she passes out. Dies, I don't know. I don't care. And the queen finds out that she is the fairest of the land, but also the magic mirror could also be because he has curly hair. Figure that one out, and is thrown out the window and into the balcony. So some guy on a horse comes along asking what happened to Snow White, as the dwarves tell her that it was by the evil queen. And he tells the dwarves that she could be in the castle and decides to take her to his because he's a prince.
Guys, someone stop him. He's gonna fuck the dead body.
But wouldn't you know it, she coughs the apple up and is brought back to life.
We will rule our kingdom with a kind hand if you will marry me.
Excuse me, sir, that we don't know his name. Actually, in both this version and in the Disney version, we don't know your name. But you never deserve this, so no.
See that I will cherish and protect you as the years go by.
So Snow White and the prince go to live happily ever after, but they find the mirror, taking him with them as we cut to the wedding. Pretty fast, guys. I mean, you guys met for 20 minutes? They live happily ever after, and so does the queen, banishing everyone, I guess including the king, as the screen cracks and the pink font saying, "The end." The good. They are voice acted alright, with the evil queen being voice acted Susan Silo, who has done work from Legend of Korra, El Tigre, and Witch. And the Magic Mirror is voiced by Dan Castellaneta, who plays, of course, Homer Simpson, Futurama, and How I Met Your Mother. And yeah, those are the only ones listed, which bothers me that Snow White was nowhere to be credited, or hell, anyone else. It does look like they had more time on this, but still, cuts were made and they're very, very, very easily to spot. Glitches. Glitches everywhere. And this is the bad part. Glitches everywhere. The animation is unfinished at times. The butcher was needed because he was in the story, but he kind of just disappeared after he was needed. Where did he go? Honestly, this was one of the shortest, and it shows, so maybe that's why it looks more finished, but it's very excruciatingly, it's blotchy. Like how Anastasia was they took time in it, yes, but Snow White, it was movie reference here, there, famous comedian, bye.
So with nothing more to say to this, I'm just gonna...
I hate this as much as